Four hosts, they bout to wreck shit like Marco. Addicted to the Giants like it's Netflix and Narcos. The CEO making big moves as per usual. Captain Negative calling everybody delusional. This podcast is number one. Like when you take a piss, so share the link and pass it. Like bitch, you're making splits. And Mr. Make-A-Wish, the sophisticated click. I spit offensive lines now. Tim can take a sip of some beer because he likes the taste of it, right? Don't forget the New York Giants beat the Patriots twice. The sickest dudes eating chips and salsa like it's Victor Cruz. Win or lose, always gonna root for Big Blue. It's true, this is a classic show. Tyree, catch it, bro. Play a drinking game while you listen and call it Classico. Take a couple shots. If it's funny, you can rewind. To bleed blue means it's in their jeans like Levi's. Eli, man in the shit, just like a sailor. Captain, we attacking bum rush like Lawrence Taylor. Podcast on point, the sharpest arrows. BBG, stay gritty like Mark Bavaro.
Nikki baby, we are live. It's been a little bit. But we are back here. I think we are coming loud and clear. If you are in the chat, let me know if you could hear us. It's been I think about 2 weeks since I've been on, at least.
The old needle going into the vein, Marco. Thank you very much. I've been needing this.
Yes. So we left off. I think where I left off, the Giants were 500, and I don't know what's happened since then. It's been a downhill cluster.
We're not even close to 500.
No, I don't think we've won since then. Yes, we are heard. We are being heard. We are live. We are here. I'm glad to be back. A lot of shakeups going on. You know, my work schedule is all different, so it's been throwing a monkey wrench into everything. We're on Blog Talk Radio today. If you want to call in, feel free. It's 516-453-9383. And I guess we'll start with yesterday's close but no cigar game, right?
Debacle, some may say.
Some may say that. So, where do you want to start? From the beginning? You want to go right by Jones or the game in general, or how would you like to take this?
Yeah, you want to split it by half and then go individual?
All right, yeah, let's go quarter by quarter. All right. Coming out the gate.
First quarter.
Right. Coming out the gate, going down 14-0, not so helpful. They look pretty flat. Correct? That's the summation of the first quarter. Boom, that's done.
Well, we are hitting a little speed bump here because in the first quarter we did see the 13th Daniel Jones turnover in 6 games.
Correct. Yes. I'm flying through it. Yeah, that is correct. Daniel Jones did have the what was that? The official number 13 in the first quarter.
Yep. Thought it was over. Detroit 14-0 at home.
Right. The first turnover was the lateral, I believe.
Yes, where his hand wasn't going forward. So I guess the guys were explaining it on the channel. If his hand was going forward, that would have been an incomplete pass no matter what. But right. I don't agree with that. Isn't it if it's backwards, it's a fumble period?
That was that's how we were classically taught.
Okay. Making sure.
But from now on, I can't tell you what a catch is. I can't tell you what a fumble is, and I also can't tell you what pass interference is. I no longer have a clue what those 3 items are.
Dumbfounded as well, sir. Dumbfounded.
So that was the end of the first quarter. I believe it ended 14-0, correct?
Yeah.
Kill it.
Marches down the field to open the second quarter. Right? Saquon had probably about 30 yards on the ground, 40 yards on the ground, and he completed a couple passes. One on the second and long. It made it third and manageable.
Oh, man, here we go. Already with the comment section, everyone wants to talk trades. Why? We're halfway done with the season. You want to talk about trades and draft at all times. Game 1, let's talk trades. You guys jumped the gun like none other.
You flew through the first quarter. We're not even through the first drive of the second quarter, and we're already talking trade.
and they request trade talks. All right.
I guess. I mean, you want to entertain? It's up to you, brother. You're the host.
No. I want to go to quarter number 2, and let me look up and figure it out myself.
The play-by-play.
Yeah, we're giving the in-depth analysis. All right,
we will get the trade talk, everybody. Don't give up on us.
Quarter number 2 seemed to be a good one for the NYG. Put 13 on the board.
Yeah. We marched down the field 88 yards first to open up the second quarter.
Mm-hmm. And that was the first Slayton touchdown catch. Was a nice grab by him. And he's looking to be he's impressing a lot of people, including myself.
Slayton, definitely. And I mean, we can entertain this in a little bit too. Why not move Shep to the slot since we don't see many two wide sets with the Giants? Why not just move Shep to the slot and then you have Slayton on the outside. Even when you do go in 2 sets, leave Slayton out there because Shep's not as strong as he is, and he can run block when you want to run that. Even though I haven't seen a draw in a couple weeks, and I'm kind of happy about that.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about Shermer trying to protect Daniel Jones a little more? I see him throwing a million receivers in the pattern, but like no one stays back, and he's getting his clock cleaned.
Yeah, Marco, I've been saying this for a month and a half. You know, I've been saying he can't be getting hit so much, but I would. Why not run 2 back sets? Why not have Penny in there and Saquon, and then you can run Saquon out. That's what you want. That's why you have him in. Saquon's in every down so you can utilize him. So you're going to want him to run his routes, but why not throw another guy back there? Because, I mean, everybody's saying Ingram got better blocking. Well, if you remember, he is a bit better, but he sucked so bad his rookie year and his first year or his second year at blocking that, like, I mean, it was a low bar to set, and he has gotten better. But I've also seen him, like, literally completely miss on a block and Saquon get hit a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage. Why not put another blocking guy right next to Daniel Jones so if somebody does come, he can just scoop him up? Don't understand it either.
Yeah, you have a million guys out in the pattern, and they all seem to be, like, the plays are developing at, sometimes they look like sharp and, well drawn up plays, and then others is, like, the offensive line can't hold these patterns, and the receivers aren't getting open, and he's just, like, getting creamed. And then you have, like, he seems to be fumble prone.
Yes.
Which is...
I remember somebody actually on the Instagram page was like, oh, Daniel Jones, 2 fumbles. And I remember you replying, you think this is a thing? Like, you think the fumbles are a thing?
My smart ass.
Here we are.
My smart ass.
I mean, no, that's a good question. Do you think, quarterbacks fumble, especially when they get hit.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, do you think it's a thing is a good question. But, I mean, it stood out to me because it's a thing now. Like, I can't even deny it anymore.
Is it a thing that will improve when the O-line plays a little better? He feels a little more secure, or is he always like looking in the back of his head like, here we go again, I'm going to get creamed, or not so confident in the play that he's running? And naturally being a rookie.
I just can't keep blaming the line, man. I mean, our line was bad when Eli was there. He didn't have no guards. He didn't have a center. He didn't have any tackles. Solder is not playing. Solder is basically another Mike Remmers at the tackle. But we have 2 guards and a center. So, I mean, the guy has something.
Right. just stand in the middle part. Don't worry about anything coming from the edge.
Yeah, like, and that's why it's like, why not just throw Elijah Penny back there? Remmers does his chip block. Soldiers just takes on whoever he wants to take on, and the guy comes in and just pick him up. totally understand. This guy cannot get creamed. He took 8 sacks last week.
Yeah.
8.
No, that's.
I wish I could figure out the numbers, how many times he got knocked down. I'm sure it's more than 8.
Yeah, definitely. Or just rattled, or just like his play altered because he had to either escape or something along that line. So that was the first touchdown in the second quarter, right? Was Slayton. The second one was also Slayton, I believe.
Second one was also Slayton. This is when I was like, oh my gosh, this might be a game, and it indeed was.
It was.
Started out, boom, throws to Golden Tate for 2 yards, exactly. Boom, Benny Fowler for 12, and it's like he keeps rolling, and then that's all. He just keeps throwing the ball, and then he just throws it to Slayton for a 30-yard touchdown, 28-yard touchdown.
Yeah, beautiful throw. Beautiful. I will say when he's throwing he throws a nice deep ball. When there have been a few touchdowns, and actually the majority have been Slayton, I'm like, this guy can throw though. There is arm talent there. And I believe at one point he was like maybe 9-9, like slinging it all different receivers all throughout the field, long, medium, short passes, and he looked good. And then you have the touchdown mixed extra point by Rojas, which throws me into a panic. We could have been actually tied. We can't even put a chipper in there.
Yeah. I can't, dude. No way. After that. After the Lions went up 14-zip, he didn't have an incompletion until after the half.
Yeah, I remember him going. I remember it being at least 9. He was like 9-9. At one point after that, I was like, "Oh, he's rolling."
It might be more than that, Marco.
Yeah, I think that's what.
With 6:31 left in the third, Daniel Jones passed incomplete short right to. Oh, because he threw it away. So there you go. After Detroit went up 14-0, which was early in the first because of that fumble recovery 6, it took the guy almost 2 quarters to throw another incomplete pass.
So the third quarter was the Saquon touchdown, missed extra point, what was it? No, not a field goal. 2-point conversion.
Oh, yeah.
So that was pretty much the summation. And then fourth quarter was the... No. Third quarter was Evan Ingram. Fourth quarter was Saquon. Did I say Saquon the first time?
Yeah. But you're right.
So, but I think that one of the biggest things is that we weren't able to stop them when we needed to stop. It was questionable if we were going to get it. Now, Stafford's a good quarterback in my opinion, but there are some plays that need to be made if you want to win a football game or if you want to have a winning franchise.
I agree. That guy doesn't have it.
Yeah. That's pretty much.
He is a good quarterback.
Right. Let's see. How did the D hold up? What was let's see the total yards given up yesterday. What did Stafford go for? Do you know?
I have no idea. I'm still looking at these drives. I didn't realize. I mean, on paper, it wasn't a great game for the guy, but when you look at these drives, wow. All right, defensive stats. I got you. Sorry. Full box score. Lions threw for 342 yards.
342.
Or I'm sorry, 316 because Stafford had rushing yards.
So the Giants defense, we have Golden with a sack, we have Carter with a sack, we have Tomlinson with a sack. And we have Jenkins with the pick. Any fumble recoveries? I don't think there were.
Yep. DeAndre Baker, 8 total tackles, 7 solo.
Yeah, 1 assisted, right?
Yep. Oh, Golden, 2 QB hits, too. I like that.
Nothing much on punt return.
Golden, two tackle for losses. Golden. Lorenzo Carter, 2 tackles for losses. Dalvin Tomlinson, 2 tackles for losses with a sack. Carter also had a sack. Golden also had a sack.
Kick return, Darius Slayton, 5 of 102. I didn't think he would 5 of 102 with an average of 20 yards, 20.4.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Let's go to the Lions.
On the defense, ladies and gentlemen.
Danny Amendola, 8 of 95. And Galloway, 6 of 123. They didn't do much in rushing.
No, not at all.
Carson, 12 of 34, and Johnson was 7 of 25. Just threw on us all day.
Yep. I mean, I would too.
Yeah. I mean...
They had the guys to burn us. I mean, I'm surprised Jones didn't have a bigger game. Yeah, man, Jenkins has 4 picks this year, they said. I thought that was his second.
Hold on.
I was like, oh, trade him. As soon as he picked, I was like, trade him now. He's got 4 picks this season.
Hold on. I have an instruction to check Discord. Hold on. Let's check Discord. Why? What's going on in Discord? Dun 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 dun.
And then he did march down. I mean, it was garbage time, but he did march down the field in a minute to get us back in the game. And you know what I mean? At least give us a shot.
Just give me 1 second. What is going on? Is there a trade going on? Are we breaking? Wait. Whoa! It seems like there is a trade. Leonard Williams headed to the Giants. Both teams are hoping for more.
Really?
From Ian Rappaport. The Jets defensive line Leonard to the Giants. What's the... For who? For what? Uh-oh, here we go. Ready? You want to break out the breaking news?
I mean, they wanted to talk trade, right?
Well, all right. Ian Rappaport, ready? With the Jets defensive line, Leonard Williams headed to the Giants. Both teams are hoping for more. The Jets continue to shop wide receiver Robbie Anderson, while NYG has... What are the
Jets send their former first-round pick across town, with the Giants giving up a 3rd and a future 5th rounder.
3rd this year, and
whatever.
I like it.
Yup, pass rush.
I remember when I remember when he dropped to the Jets. I was like, man, these guys always fall into some shit, because he was supposed to go like, I think 3 or 2, and he like dropped to, what was it? The Jets were picking 8 or 9 or something, maybe 7. I was like, look at that.
You remember what year that was, Marco?
Had to be 3 years ago. 3 years ago, I believe.
Oh man, so he's probably got 2 years still, plus the team option on his contract, and it's a rookie contract. That is not bad.
I like it. Hold on, let's see. We have a few people on hold. Ready? 954, are
Hey,
you
guys.
there? Are you yelling at me because I wasn't
what's
looking
up?
at the comment section?
No, I was not yelling at you, so I
Oh,
don't know who was.
what's up, brother? Where you calling
um,
from?
Florida.
Florida. So, are you
Yep,
aware of the
right
trade?
here. I just listened to you guys. Leonard Williams for a third and a future fifth. I'm pretty sure that he's actually on his final year. So I don't really think we need more of a pass rush. I think we need to protect Daniel more than anything. But I wanted to harken back to something you guys were talking about earlier. Last week, Daniel Jones in total got hit 16 times. Okay? And a lot of his fumbles, I'm noticing, right, are coming when he's in the pocket and Nate Solder just lets the guy go right by him and they strip him. That's a lot of where the fumbles and whatever are coming from. Now, with the lateral that he threw, I want that on tape. I want him to see that. I want him to be like, okay, I obviously need to take back there. I can't do that because if you take away those points, we win that game. So there's that. I think Daniel Jones is actually progressing quite nicely as a very good quarterback, throwing 322 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 fumble. But, we can debate whether, that was a forward pass or not. But obviously it wasn't. But I like the way Daniel Jones has come along. When he was first taken, I wanted to storm the castle. I'm like, I don't know who this guy is. Like, I've never heard of this kid before. But to now see him in a couple games, get smacked like over the last couple weeks and just get up and keep trying to fight, I have respect for that. It reminds me of the Eli of old. There's a lot of things that this team needs, and as much as a pass rusher is going to help, we need to replace Nate Solder, and I unfortunately don't think they can do that. And I don't want to see Daniel Jones keep getting killed by. If you watch, there was a play yesterday where Nate Solder literally got put on his ass and ran right into Daniel Jones. That's not good. I know you guys were talking about why don't they keep another back in there. The thing is they have, and when they have, either Saquon a couple times yesterday missed a block, or, the guy just gets completely lit up. So it's very...
We want to run 2 back sets, though, buddy. That's what we were saying. Have Saquon in there so he can still run his routes, but throw Penny in there, too, so he can still...
Yeah, for extra help.
You notice the off-eye formation was actually working, right? That's when we went down the field and scored on those plays to Slayton. We were running the I formation the majority of the time, and the defense couldn't tell what we were doing because we had Saquon and Penny, and they couldn't tell. So part of me thinks that this is also play calling, right? Because if you're in the shotgun 90% of the time, and I'm just throwing that out there, that might be exaggerated, but if you're in the shotgun, they know what you're going to do the majority of the time. I feel like Pat Shermer's play calling has become slightly predictable, and they need to really, really adjust because teams are getting a jump on the snap counts, and that's why our offense looks bad, and our line can't protect anybody. So
jumps on snap count, unfortunately, is our rookie quarterback's fault. Shermer has nothing to do with that.
Well, what I'm saying is they're looking at the play, right, and they're like, okay, they're 3rd and 15, bring the whole house, right? So
yeah, well that's also our line.
Yeah.
Why not bring the house? Nobody can block. As far as the offensive play calling, I totally agree, dude. He needs to do a better job. Why fix what's not broke? Yeah.
There are a lot of things to fix on this team, and I mean, Daniel Jones gets, the benefit of the doubt, especially Shermer gets the benefit of the doubt because it's a growing process. But, I mean...
But, I mean, all in all, I like what I see from Daniel. Take all the fumbles, 13 turnovers, whatever, you're a friggin' rookie. You know, let's see what you can do. And every game I've seen a couple plays, right, where it's just like, wow, he just friggin' did that. And whether it was caught, the ball, or not, it didn't matter to me. I look at the Patriot game, right, where he just throws a bomb to Golden Tate, and Golden Tate catches it and just books it for a touchdown. That's awesome. Week before that, there was a pass that he threw to Evan Ingram, and it was gorgeous, and he just dropped it. So it's just been things like that that are like, wow, this kid can play football. And I was one of the haters of him way back when, and watching him under a microscope, it's really changed my mind. He needs to work on his cover two and diagnosing what a cover two is and how to beat it, but I think he took a step in the right direction this week, because the Lions, if you looked at them, were playing a lot of cover two, and he was doing pretty good with it. So maybe he's taking those steps in the right direction. I like that. Flipping over to defense.
Yeah, I want to talk about... Hold on, I want to talk about the Leonard Williams stuff. I'm looking at his stats now, considering this is, pretty much breaking. So nothing this year. 5 sacks last year, 2018, 2017 with 2, 16 with 7, and 2015 with 3. And,
so he's at the end of his rookie contract.
Yeah,
he's going to need an extension real soon.
Seems to be. So 200.
Fine. We got the money for it. It's just, it would be nice.
Career-wise, 240 tackles, assisted 118, 17 sacks, and 1 pick.
Bring him. Thank you.
Now, how are they going to alter the line as it is now? Who do you think is moving? Who do you think is going to wind up moving around?
I think they may have a rotation, right? I don't think he's going to play D-end. I think he's going to play that money back position, and I think that's what they brought him in for. Because we have our line is, I think, pretty okay. He may replace B.J. Hill, but still, I think he'd be rotating in that, Marcus Golden spot, right? Just to have an extra person there to, go get that quarterback. However, we complain about pass rush and we complain about protecting our line. I guess you did one of the two, maybe, So I guess we have to wait and see. I wanted to know what you guys think we could get for Janoris Jenkins, and if anything, if we're trading Nate Solder.
Nobody's going to take Nate's money, so probably not getting rid of Solder. What do you think about Jenkins, Marco? Do you think his stock books up? I mean, I think 2 weeks ago when we last talked, we said maybe we would literally be like making out if we get a 4th for him. If there was any market for him, maybe a 5th. Does that solidify? Does this pick and decent play yesterday against not terrible wide receivers solidify his 4th round? You think? Because I don't think so. I think he's still worth a 5th.
You think we don't get a 4th?
I don't think so. Not yet.
What did we get for Eli Apple? Was Eli Apple a 5th round pick we got?
Yes, I believe so.
And what was that? He was in his 2nd year. There's a lot more upside to Eli Apple rather than Janoris Jenkins. I don't think so. I think we're looking at a 5th too.
I think that if a team is desperate enough, they might spring for that 4th. Because after the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game, right, when we're all like on him, he sucks, he's not worth anything. All of a sudden, he springs to life, and over the last month, he's had 4 picks and has seemingly been the Jackrabbit of old. Now, I think that's raised his stock a little bit. However, who wants the veteran, right? You're probably looking at contending teams that might not want to be giving up that much. So maybe if a team is desperate enough, like the Chiefs, you could maybe get like a 4th.
I'm gonna throw you on. I'm gonna throw you on hold for a second. I'm gonna go to a few other callers. All right, just hang with me on the line. Ready? 917. What's going on, brother? Who's calling in?
Hey.
Hey, what's up? Oh, Ned.
917, Staten Island.
Cell phone city.
I actually wanted.
What's up, Ned? How you been?
I wanted to do. I'm doing all right. I actually wanted to break down a little bit of the crazy stuff that's been going on right now. In fact, Rappaport just dropped another thing saying that both teams are shopping for more. New York Giants is shopped and is open to dealing Janoris Jenkins, Alec Ogletree, and maybe Nate Solder. So they're officially on the trade block. With the guy we just got, there's a few little caveats here. That 2020 5th-round pick will become a 4th-round pick if he signs a contract extension. And that's because he's currently at the end of his contract. So what I'm trying to figure out is, do they think I've got to imagine that they think Betcher sees something in him and thinks he can unlock his potential somehow. I'm just beyond confused as to why we have so many D linemen. I mean, we've got Dexter, we've got Dexter Lawrence, Dalvin Thomas, B.J. Hill, and now
in a 3-4.
Yeah, and we run a 3-4.
Yeah, I mean, and now Leonard Williams. It's just like, okay, this is getting a bit ridiculous now. I mean, I'm kind of baffled a little bit by the fact that Rappaport didn't mention something like maybe Tomlinson or something being on the trade block, because I would think, given how many players we have, we should just be
at one specific position. We have
we should
35 defensive tackles
away now that we're bringing.
Yeah,
maybe
we should be sending someone away. I don't know why we're bringing guys in. We should be in sell mode and keep the youth, right?
I agree 100% on that.
I'm not too mad about this because a lot of people in general say he's like an electric player. He just doesn't really have the people around him to make him better, which I guess makes sense. But we don't really have that either. But if they think that they can unlock him, I have no problem with this deal, especially since we're going to get a 3rd-round comp pick for Collins in all likelihood. So, but we basically sort of just traded back a few spots with this and gave up a 5th, probably a 4th if he re-signed.
Wait, that
so
3rd
I'm
round.
Not too mad.
That 3rd-round comp pick was. Wait, we don't have a 3rd now, right? They traded away that.
No, we
pick?
had 2/3.
We had 2/3.
Yeah,
we had 2/3 because of the comp.
If we get that comp.
Well, we should. Basically, by the rules of it, we should. It's basically kind of set in stone that because we lost Collins, it's going to be a 3rd.
Yeah.
Right, but didn't we burn a 3rd?
You've been baffled before, Ned, haven't you?
Wait, didn't we burn a 3rd on Sam Beal? Oh no, that was last year. We burned a 3rd on Sam Beal.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, we just kind of, while we did have 2/3 originally, like we kind of traded back. We traded back to our comp pick, our comp third round.
Do you know how many more years B.J. Hill and our other? I know Tomlinson's on for a couple more years, but B.J. Hill.
No, I think Tomlinson's out. I think Tomlinson's out this year because he came in the draft with Evan Ingram, and Ingram's and I don't think he was second round, right? Yeah, he was second round, so he wouldn't have the 5th-year option. So I think he's up for a contract.
Yeah, he might be the odd man out.
So I guess what I'm curious is why aren't they shopping him? I mean, he's a decent player. I think you could get like something for him.
Maybe they are shopping him.
I like the trade. I like the trade. It's just I agree. Why aren't more people on the block? Why is it just those three?
Jenkins, I legitimately think we might be able to get a high first now. The only issue is the competition
first round pick
now because the Rams. I'd say that for one reason alone. I would say high first round pick, but potentially a first round pick.
Wait, for who? For who?
He's literally he's second in the league in interceptions. He is like he really picked up his game recently, so he obviously inflated his trade value a lot for us, which is good. But my main concern is that now there's competition of Aqib Talib. So basically, you're kind of like anyone who wants a corner can basically pit the Giants and the Rams against each other with Aqib Talib and Janoris Jenkins, and basically say like, we're only willing to give you this, or one of you guys willing to accept it? You know, like one of those types of things. Now there's competition.
I'll put it this way: if they trade Janoris Jenkins for a first round pick, I will fully convert to a Gettleman fan because there is no way they're coming near that.
That'll be the first day I jerk off to an ESPN page.
That'll be it. You're like, ooh, baby, look at this. It's so hot.
If I see a 1 or a 2, oh, man.
Again,
Ned, you gave me goosebumps, brother. If we get a 1 or a 2 for him, dude, oh.
The only reason, again, I say that is because the fucking Chiefs have a shitty defense. Like, that's really kind of what I'm banking on is the Chiefs saying, we kind of need to go all in because Mahomes is starting to get hurt now and things aren't going, according to plan. We need to solidify this defense.
What did Andy give Buffalo? Didn't they give Buffalo like a 3rd or a 4th for LeSean?
Yeah, but LeSean's like incredibly old and like.
Well,
honestly,
I hear you. It's just they can't trade all their
running back
away, right?
and cornerback are much different values. You can pick up. So like, yeah, he may have given them a first for Shady, but again, this is past his prime Shady with the scandal on his record and at a position that's much less valued. The reason I think we might be able to get a second if we're willing to undersell the Rams and Aqib Talib, because again, like Talib being on the market kind of sucks because that's competition for Jenkins. Originally, Jenkins was going to be the best cornerback on the market. Like if you wanted someone to really shore up that position on your team, you're going to have to go to Jenkins, and now they can kind of like be like, maybe you're asking a bit too much. We're going to go see what the Rams are asking for, which
I mean, from a different
frustrating.
perspective too, Ned, he can set a bar for like a first-round pick, and then people could just settle for Jenkins for a second.
Yeah, but
if they're
I'm not
asking
sure
for a
how
first
many,
or a second. Go ahead.
I'm not sure how many competitors need a cornerback, because
They have them in place. There's a reason why it's an important position on the field.
Yeah, there's the Chiefs, there's the Eagles, which I'm hesitant to call like competitors, but they're trying to be competitive, and they clearly wanted Ramsey, but I don't think we're going to do a deal with them. But maybe they grabbed Talib, I don't know. So there's the Chiefs, the Eagles.
Houston needs a fucking corner.
I don't know if Houston is really a contender, but yeah, sure. Houston, probably. I don't know. It's really difficult.
Minnesota needs a corner. That's how you attack their defense through the air.
I mean, Minnesota is just a great team overall, and they've got high team chemistry. I'm not sure if they're going to break that up to bring in someone else. I don't know. Maybe the Raiders, if they think that they can do better than what they're doing, and grab a wild card spot. I mean, hey, maybe Jenkins can convince Gruden that he's a Gruden grinder. I don't know.
So you're telling me Oakland's a better team than Houston?
I mean, if the issue with Houston is they've already given up so much because they did the Tunsil trade and shit. So
yeah, that's why I was thinking, why would the Chiefs give up more? Because I don't know what they gave up for Shady. If it's a fifth or something for Shady, then totally we might be able to squeeze a 2 or a 3 out of them. That's the perfect fit. But if they give up a fourth, I don't see Kansas City giving up another high round pick, right?
Yeah, they totally could, because again, they've got a complete team now that they're trying to compete now. They're not in a we're semi-rebuilding, kind of trying to compete kinda mode. They're in win now mode, or we don't know when Mahomes' knee is going to turn to glass and this entire team explodes.
Once Mahomes goes down.
Like, I understand why the Chiefs are in win-now mode, but, like, they are, and they need, like, corners. They need almost everything on defense, essentially. So I could see them giving up a first for Jenkins if they really think he's going to transform their defense. Because if you look at what Ramsey got, and I'm not comparing Jenkins to Ramsey even remotely, but if you look at, and he was in a contract year, Ramsey got that much, and it was like 2 firsts and a fifth or something, right? So you might be able, and that was for the Rams, which aren't even, they're not even top of their division. They're not even, top 2 in their division. And they traded for Ramsey. So you look at the Chiefs, who are in a much better position to just make the playoffs, period. They might be more willing to part with a first-round pick for a cornerback because they're thinking that first-round pick is going to be high. It is going to be 30 plus. And, that's what they're thinking. So it would essentially be like an early second rounder.
All right. So then the other players that are on the trading block, according to Ian Rappaport, Ogletree
and maybe Nate Solder. So Nate Solder, we all know the rumors about potentially. There's rumors of him potentially going back to the Patriots, and there's of course the rumors that for some reason the Browns want him. So
Alec Ogletree on trade
I mean,
rumors and
hey.
whether here we go. Alec Ogletree's on trade rumors whether he believes he will be here on Wednesday. Quote: I mean, as of right now, I'm still a Giant, and I'm going to stand by it. I haven't heard anything different. I'm a Giant today, and I'm thankful for the opportunity that I'm here now.
Perfect.
I mean, Ogletree. I don't know that there's really as much of a market as Jenkins. Like, I really think you're maybe getting a fourth, if you're lucky, a third for him. Probably more likely, again, high fourth, maybe fifth. So I don't know how worth it is to trade Ogletree. Again, Solder, the issue is, who's your backup? You know, you have to kind of get someone back for him, which is going to inherently lower whatever reward you get. Like, let's say we swap left tackles with the Browns, maybe all we're getting is like a 7th round pick.
From Andrew Siciliano, this is the first time the Jets and the Giants have ever made a trade. Look at that. Breaking information right there.
I mean, somebody's going to look stupid.
Jenna Lane from ESPN. Giants are also shopping Janoris Jenkins, other cornerback per sources. His contract makes this one a difficult challenge, though. The Giants have made some roster moves to create space for Williams, so maybe Sam Beal. Oh, wait, hold on. The Giants will have to make additional roster moves to create the space for Williams, so maybe Williams and Sam Beal. So there might be a few players being cut.
I was just about to say, he's coming off an IR, Beal, I think.
Yeah, he hasn't even had a chance to play, I don't think.
He hasn't played one snap for the Giants, I don't think.
I'd like to at least see him play a game before we cut him. See if he's actually worth it. Yeah.
No, they're saying that. They're saying that for him to come back, they have to let a few players go.
That makes sense. I imagine it'll probably be some special teams guy we've never heard of.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be interesting because there's clearly some selling that Gettleman wants to do, but again, it's all about what the market is for it.
Yeah, I mean, you have to really believe that we're going to be a top 3 pick to get Chase Young, or else we really need to trade for a pass rush because there's not going to be much in the draft.
I legitimately do not believe that after seeing the Falcons, like watching them, I've watched one of their games. I legitimately believe that even if we got top 3, we still wouldn't get Chase Young because the Atlanta Falcons would take him at 2. Their defense is just that awful. I mean,
how much does it cost to move up that one spot?
I'd imagine a lot, and there's also the issue of the fact that we have to play the Redskins and the Dolphins on our schedule. So how do you out-tank those teams?
With a good quarterback.
Like, we're kind of in an issue where literally the only way I could see us losing all of our remaining games would be if we just put out Alex Tammy and the third stringers and said, go get them. Yeah, and even then, I'm not confident that they wouldn't win over the Dolphins.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So then, I mean,
Wait, Matt Ryan
did it even more. That means we gotta. Go ahead, Marco.
Matt Ryan didn't play yesterday, right? They sat him.
No, yeah, they sat him, and Shaw threw for like 480 or something.
Yeah, no, their offense is no issue. The issue is literally, like, I kid you not, based on the stats, if it wasn't for the fact that this 2019 Miami Dolphins team exists, the Falcons would be setting records for defensive ineptitude. They're literally only being, like, they're breaking the previous record, but then that record's being broken by the Miami Dolphins. So, when the only competition you have for how bad your defense is the Miami Dolphins, and even then they've gotten slightly better after they got Taco Charlton, it's kind of a hopeless cause. That they brought in this new coach who they thought was going to revive the defense, and he's basically sent them into like a giant regression. So it wouldn't surprise me if no matter what, they're grabbing Chase Young, because if you look at what Bosa did to San Francisco, he could be Defensive Player of the Year in his rookie year.
All right, hold on.
Like,
Ready? Here we go. It's about to get live. What's going on, brother?
Captain Negative.
Did we just trade picks for a guy that we have to re-sign in 3 months? So there's no stats at all systems this year?
Yes, we did.
Am I seeing these?
We're in win. We're
The odds of my day at work?
We're in win now mode.
Oh my God, I'm sick to my stomach. They should be selling everybody and their mother, and they're buying.
Hold on. Do you like the player?
No.
No, not at all. Zero?
No, not for the price and what you're going to have to re-sign him for.
Yeah. You think he's going to break the bank, though?
I think that you're going to have to sign him for a significant amount of money. I mean, if you're Leonard Williams at 24 years old, what's the contract you're taking?
It's true.
But, I mean, didn't we just draft B.J. Hill, and don't we have Tomlinson, and don't we have Dexter Lawrence? Like, we're playing the 3-4. Like, unless they move Tomlinson, like I don't understand.
I don't get it either. I like the player, I'll tell you that much, but I don't know. It feels like we have the same player 55 times on the roster.
I can't understand what is going on right now with this franchise. Oh my God. The good news is that they're at least going to entertain offers for Jenkins, Ogletree, and Solder. But,
so his phone will be on.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I thought I heard somebody say they think they're getting a first for Janoris Jenkins. I don't know what world you live in.
I live in the world where the Chiefs' defense is absolutely
Let me
awful.
ask you something. Let me ask you something. Would you give up a first-round pick for Janoris Jenkins?
If I thought it would help, if I thought it would win me the Super Bowl, yes.
You think Janoris Jenkins is the piece that's going to win you a Super Bowl? You can play in my fantasy league any day of the year.
I think he's a piece that's going to that could improve the Chiefs' defense enough.
Worth a first-round pick. First-round pick.
Nick said he will actually.
Come on, man.
He said if that happens, he will actually, the first time in his life, he will jerk off to a ESPN. ESPN second time.
I'm snarking it. Full disclosure, boys.
You're lucky you get a third for Jenkins. You're lucky you get a third. It's not like he's performing well.
Yeah, we were thinking we were going to get a fifth.
He is performing well, though. He is
He's not performing well. He's been beaten like a stepchild all fucking year long. What games are you watching?
Right to him, I know that.
What games are you watching?
It around. He's second in the league in interceptions.
What did he turn it around for? Because he intercepted a ball that me and you could have done that was so underthrown yesterday? Are you kidding me? He's been beat. You want to go back and watch the film that still gives me bad dreams for what Michael Evans did to him?
Michael Evans does that to a lot of people, though. But there's no way.
No, he doesn't.
No way. They're lucky if they get a fifth. Lucky if they get a fifth. Do you think the Giants? Do you think they eventually they're going to go back to switching out of the 3-4? Because I don't.
Fingers crossed.
Do you do that mid-season?
Play the circus music.
Can you do that mid-season?
Just play the circus music. I mean, they just went. We said when they went from a 4-3 to a 3-4 that it's going to take around 2 to 3 years before you have all the pieces in place to get to the 3-4. Well, you've been in the 3-4 for now 2 years. It's going to be. Now you want to go back to a 4-3, and this is like when everybody says it's time to fire Shermer. Like, do you know what it's like to try to coach no talent?
Personally, no.
I mean, like, if you're really gung ho about Gettleman, then guess what, guys? This continues. Shermer and Gettleman get a third year.
When is the cap deadline? The trade deadline. Trade deadline. Sorry.
Tomorrow at 4 o'clock.
Tuesday.
Tomorrow at 4 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, God Almighty, they need a complete sweep across the front office, and it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. They are so far behind the 8 ball from the decisions that they've made. When you try to rebuild and you try to win at the same time, this is what happens. You go 7-17.
Why are they giving picks up? It's a rebuild.
Because they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They got one. It's like having Harvey Dent as your general manager. He's two-faced. In 1 minute he's fucking selling everything, and the other minute he's buying everything.
Maybe it's a personality disorder. Maybe.
Now, I will say this. If they trade Tomlinson, if they're going to move Tomlinson, then the move for William makes a little bit of sense. But you still give up a third-round pick in the 2020 draft to get a guy that you have to re-sign now. So you've gone from cheap to expensive.
Brian Costello from Jets beat writer. For Giants fan, I think Leonard is a complimentary player who could excel if given good pieces around him. Jets never teamed him with a good edge rusher to take some attention away from him. If the Giants can do that,
I heard,
you'll see more production from him.
Well, let's hope so, because he hasn't really produced anything as of right now. I mean, you're talking about a guy that hasn't had a sack in 2 months.
Okay, here we go.
We're gonna be waiting another year.
Guys, I figured out why he did it. Since 2016, 38.7% of Leonard Williams' run tackles have come from a loss or no gain, which is second only to Aaron Donald. So he's still worried about the run, apparently.
In a passing league.
In a passing league, they are playing like it's 1984.
Wow.
Got to evolve, guys. Got to evolve.
All trade worries should be focused on edge rusher, correct? We can all agree on that one, right?
Number one. If you could, they need so much, man.
Yeah, they need a tackle too, but it's like we can address a tackle in the draft. We can't get a game changer in the draft because Chase is going to be gone.
You need to watch who you're spending money on in free agency, though. Like they have an opportunity here to do. The frustrating part is if they were to rip the Band-Aid off in 2018, they'd be sitting pretty right now. they probably wouldn't be a winning ball club, but they'd be a lot better than they would be now. And they didn't do so. And they're 2 years now behind the 8 ball because 2 off seasons have gone by where they've tried to sell you this win and rebuild, and they've rebuilt, and they've tried to win, and they've fallen flat on their face. So when you look at the roster and you see all the holes on it, you're still at the very beginnings of this process. They have not made any significant headway in a rebuild besides the fact that they have Daniel Jones, and we still don't know what he is. And all the people that are bashing Daniel Jones for yesterday, shut the fuck up. Like, enough. Like, if you're watching that game yesterday and you're walking away with anything but positive feelings about that kid, you don't know what the fuck you're watching, and shut up. It's a rookie quarterback. Lower your expectations. For a rookie quarterback on the road to play that game the way he played it yesterday, Daniel Jones was not the problem. The roster is the problem. Much like it has been.
Wait,
and
Jake.
that's on one person. It's not on Jerry Reese. It's on Dave Gettleman.
Wait, Jay Glazer said yesterday that the
decision to keep Eli on the roster. It was Dave Gettleman's decision to still build and convince everybody that he can win with Eli on the roster. It was his drafting Barkley. It was his bringing in Jonathan Stewart. It was his signing Nate Solder and then reconstructing Nate Solder so that the contract is fucking more awful now than it was when we first signed it. It's trading for Ogletree. It's not trading Jenkins. It's not getting an asset for Collins. It's one thing right after another over 2 years, and you still got people blaming Shermer and Reese.
Again,
the general manager and the owner.
Hold on, James. Hold on. Jay Glazer nailed the trade yesterday, huh?
What did he say?
He basically said the exact trade is going to happen on.
Hey.
Fucking guy,
Glazer's
man.
Good, man. Glazer gets a lot of shit, but he's good.
Jay Glazer literally called this at 9 o'clock in the morning. That's fucking hysterical.
There's an interesting aspect to this trade that I didn't realize until I saw this. As much as, yeah, it sucks that we have to re-sign him, if he chooses not to re-sign, it is likely that we will get a third round comp pick in 2021, which, I mean, isn't great, but I mean,
they made that. If they don't sign him, they failed epically because you don't make that trade unless you have full intentions of signing the player. You don't acquire a guy who's going to be a free. You don't acquire a guy who's going to be a free agency in a year where you suck. If your intention is not to keep him long term.
If you get a third from it, though.
Well, I mean, it's not going to be remotely equal in value, but it is a little bit of a safety net that I didn't realize was there. Again, a potentially top 10 third round pick this year in comparison to a pick at the end of the third round next year are not anywhere near equal in value, but again, it is a safety net that I can at least. It makes it a little bit easier to swallow.
The idea behind the trade is very simple. Is that you're getting the best. They're hoping that they're giving a third round pick, and there's nobody that they would take in that third round pick that would be better player than Leonard Williams. However, Leonard Williams needs to hold up his side of the bargain in reference to that, and the Giants are going to have to sign him based off of the play. You got to remember, right? A lot of these guys that are going to be free agents that are 24, 25 years old. Like, they get signed a lot of the time based off of what they could be, based off of taking that next step. A guy like Smith with the Packers, who was coming out of his fourth or fifth year, and they were waiting for him to take the next step, and he got a huge deal based off of that next step that he can make. That's what a guy like Leonard Williams, that's the kind of contract that he's going to be looking for, is one that you give a guy that's coming off of that first 4 or 5 years that is now looking to take the next step, and he's 27 years old, and now you're signing him for his prime years. So the contract negotiation, it's going to be a pretty penny that gets you Leonard Williams. But you make that trade knowing that you're going to be significantly under the cap, and you're going to have, and you like the player enough to do so. They just better be right about Leonard Williams, because you're giving up a valuable asset. And the way I looked at it was, the asset may not be chosen in the third round with that pick, but if you continue to sell and you continue to acquire picks, that means that players that you target that maybe you have to move up for a couple of spots, or you can move down and acquire more picks, but at least you have the bullets in the gun to go get the players that you want in reference to a rebuild, or you're sitting there and acquiring the best player available. But to give up 2 picks, you better be right on the player, especially a guy that you're going to have to sign for a significant amount of money.
I gotta wonder if, I mean, Tomlinson has got to be on the trade block, right? That there's no other logical explanation, right? Like,
Yeah, well, this might be the first of many moves. And we got some cryptic.
I mean, obviously,
we got some cryptic tweeting by Janoris Jenkins. So life is awesome. So I don't know what that means.
It means he might have just gotten the call that he's gotten traded to a contender. That's what
Good.
It might mean.
Good. Let him go fucking be Panther there.
Fat.
I mean, there's a lot of holes, but I've got to wonder if maybe this is a case of building someone up to sell them for something, because you've got Tomlinson is not a bad player at any means. I think anyone would want him. So maybe you just try to see what you can get for him, and you think Williams is an improvement.
Yeah, but the thing right now, and I think that the thing that frustrates me the most about this trade is that there seems to be still a complete fucking confusion about what this team is and what this roster is. And that's the concerning part, is that they don't know if they're rebuilding, if they're buyers, if they're sellers. There was no reason to make that trade, in my opinion. Like, he's not a guy that is going to push the defense and take them to another level. So if he's not the guy and the defense is that bad, why are we giving up picks? Like, do we understand what the scenario is now? Do we understand what's going on? It seems like they don't. It seems like they're still trying to win now while they rebuild. And that's, guys, that's troubling if they haven't fucking read the tea leaves yet.
I'll be right if you ask me.
I'm scouring Twitter, trying to see anything else that's going on.
Well, I will talk to you guys soon. I will talk to you guys on Wednesday night. I'm sure there'll be a plethora of more information that we can go over. Love you guys.
Yeah, maybe.
Take it easy, Gene.
This is probably the first move of many that the Giants are going to make. I like the player. I don't know. I don't know if it necessarily fits in our scheme that we're running now.
The only way I can think to justify this is you think that this dude is so good he's going to invalidate like 2 players on your roster. You basically say, all right, him and Dexter Lawrence, they're good, runs permanently taken care of, bada boom, next, all we need now are pass rushers essentially. And
And
then I think
corners.
So you
and corners
And
and a safety, about 4 linebackers. Now you want to go to the offensive side of the ball?
Hey, you know what? I will give credit where it is due. Mayo has been decent, and Conley looked good until he got injured.
True.
Future is very bright. Very bright.
Hopefully.
We were just looking at the stats from
credit
Sunday.
where it's due. If those two players can be effective starters, then those are 2 less holes we have to worry about.
All right, gentlemen.
Granted,
I have to run and take
All right.
care of some business. It was a nice little, about an hour we jumped on this with a little breaking news. I will talk to everyone Wednesday night, and we should be back to normal. All right, everyone. Talk to you then.
Marco.